Today, we're going to talk about something really important, that gap. You know the one, the gap between what gets you an A in school and what actually helps you crush it in your career. We're going way beyond the textbook to figure out what it really means to be ready for the modern workplace. So, let me ask you this. You studied hard, you aced all your exams, you got the top grades. Does that automatically mean you're going to be a superstar at work? Hmm. As we're about to find out, it's not quite that simple. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to look at our starting point, those classic school habits, then the destination, what it really means to be work ready. We'll talk about crossing the bridge between the two, and finally, wrap up with why this shift matters so much. And this right here, this is basically our map for the whole journey. See, on the left, you've got the familiar world of school, the old clock tower, the quiet study sessions, and on the right, that's the buzzing modern workplace. That bridge in the middle, well, that's the really interesting part. That's the transition we're going to break down. So let's start on the left side of that map and a place we've all been. This is where we learn the basics, for sure, but it also teaches us some very specific ways of working that are worth a closer look. Think about it. In school, success usually boils down to three things, right? First, you take tests. It's all about remembering information for that one big exam. Second, you work alone. Your grade is your grade. It's all about individual effort. And third, you follow instructions. You're given a clear path, and your job is to stick to it perfectly. Now, these skills get you the grade, but are they what the professional world is really looking for? Okay, now let's walk across that bridge to the other side. Welcome to the professional world. This is our destination. And let me tell you, the rules of the game are completely different over here. So here's the first huge shift. That school habit of taking tests, that one-shot deal to prove what you know, it gets replaced by something totally different. Iterative problem solving. It's not about having the right answer on test day anymore. It's about having a process to get better and better over time. So what does that even mean, iterative? Well, it's a cycle. You try something, you see what happens, you learn from it, and then you tweak your approach. Think of a software company. They don't just release an app and call it a day. No way. They release it, get feedback, fix bugs, add features. They test, learn, and refine over and over again. The goal isn't perfection on day one, it's progress. Okay, next up is that old habit of working alone. In school, it's all about what you can do. But at work, that evolves into what's called accountable collaboration. Honestly, that whole idea of the lone genius working in isolation, it's pretty much a myth. The biggest breakthroughs happen when great minds work together. Now, the key word here is accountable. This is not like that dreaded group project where one person does all the heavy lifting and everyone else gets the credit. No, this is about a team where every single person is truly responsible for the outcome. You win as a team, and you learn from failures as a team. And the last big shift we see is moving from just following instructions to actually taking ownership. This one is huge. It's the difference between being a passenger on a trip and being the one driving the car, choosing the route. In the workplace, your boss rarely gives you a step-by-step IKEA manual for a big project. They give you a goal, a destination. Taking ownership means it's on you to figure out the plan, manage the deadlines, and take the initiative to make it happen. You're not just following the path, you're the one paving it. Okay, so we've seen both sides now. We get the starting point and we get the destination. The big question is, how do we actually build that bridge and get across it? Let's get into the practical stuff. You have to be intentional about this. So first up, instead of just memorizing facts, actively look for ways to apply what you're learning. Build a small project, enter a competition, find an internship, anything that makes it real. Second, go find team projects. Join a club, volunteer, or participate in a hackathon to get that real practice with accountable collaboration. And third, start small with taking initiative. You don't have to lead a massive project. Just offer to organize a meeting or suggest a small improvement to a process you know. Start building that muscle. So, we've talked about the what and the how, but let's finish up with the most important question of all. Why? Why does any of this really matter? Because the payoff is massive, and it's for everybody. For students, it means you're not just ready for your first job, you're prepared for a successful career. For educators, it means you're creating courses and programs that are genuinely relevant and life-changing. And for employers, it means you get a team that's agile, proactive, and ready to solve whatever challenges come next. It's a win-win-win. And I think this really sums it all up. This isn't about throwing away everything you learned in school. Of course not. It's about building on top of that foundation. It's about constructing that bridge to a whole new set of skills that will let you thrive. So I'll leave you with this question. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or already deep in your career, think about your own bridge. What's the very first step you can take? Which of these skills, iterative problem solving, accountable collaboration, or task ownership, are you going to start working on today?